Hi, I'm Dr. Jamie and welcome to my review of the Sub, which is a home beer tap made by Heineken. Got the Sub delivered yesterday. These are what they call the Torps. Basically they hold the beer. This is Heineken. I'm not actually the biggest fan of Heineken, but you can get other brands. So we'll have a look what's in the box, see how to use it, and then I'll let you know what I think. In the box you have the Sub itself. You can just see there. This is the black edition. You then got the drip tray, handle, and an instruction manual which just has a sort of quick guide, pictures in the front, and then obviously instructions further on, although they aren't the most detailed of instructions. Setup is very simple. Basically just screw the handle in the top here. Make sure it's plugged in, and then the drip tray, even though it has these little connections on it, it doesn't actually slot into anything. I've had a look underneath. I'm not sure if you can see underneath there, but there's nothing for them to actually hook into, so that is that. But then obviously that makes it quite easy to just take that out and stick it in the wash. This is your power button just here. So red means that it's cooling something down. There's nothing actually in there at the moment. It goes green when it's ready to pour. This is where you insert what they call the Torps, which is just the beer. And then obviously you use this handle to pour. So these are the Torps, as they call them. It holds 2 litres of beer. Now a pint is about 568 mils, so you're going to get just under 4 pints. From one of these. They vary in price, you can see online, depending which type of beer you get, and there is quite a few sort of different ones you can choose. This Heineken came with it. It was not really what I would have chosen, but it's what we'll use for now. Now the Torps need to be basically cooled down by the machine, and it says that can take up to 10 hours if you actually put them in and then turn it on. The other option is to put it in your fridge beforehand. It says for 6 to 10 hours. Now this has only been in for about 2 hours, and it says that this cold indicator will go blue when it's ready to go in the Sub. So that is blue now, you can see. And if I just rub that over with my thumb, that's what it looks like when it's white. You can sort of see it going white there. So that's saying it's ready to go in. Once this is actually in the machine, it says it will keep for up to 15 days. Now, I'm not sure how many people will take 15 days to drink a couple of pints. However, that's how long it says it will keep for. If you are keeping it in there for that amount of time, it needs to be kept plugged in so it stays at the right pressure and the right temperature. Otherwise, basically it'll ruin your beer. It does say you cannot take it, well, you can take it out early before it's emptied. However, it can't be used again after that. So if you do take it out and there's still some in it, you're just going to have to throw it away. Just open up the Torp now and we'll see how to get it through there. So the packaging is off. This literally just pulls off, and you can see there is the sort of tubing that you need to insert into the Torp and then into the machine. So this just basically lifts out of that top, and I'm told this simply clicks in, which it's gone in, but I didn't necessarily hear a click. That feels like it's right in. Then this just twists anti-clockwise, and you can just place that in there. This bit next to the handle will just lift up, and then if you sort of push that around the side, there's a little gap there you can see. And then I'm told you just place it into there, and it clicks down. So once that's all in, simply push that up. Pop that clockwise again, and then here's your power button. It says it can be a little bit noisy at first as it has to pressurise the Torp and then also start to cool it down. When it's ready, this light will go green. It cools the Torp to about 2 degrees, which it says is a perfect temperature for the beer. So obviously if your fridge was cool and it's at 2 degrees, it shouldn't take very long. However, if your fridge is set a little bit higher than that, it might take a bit of time. So as you've seen, my Torp was actually pre-cooled, so I'll let you know just how long this takes. This pre-cooled Torp has now been in for about 15 to 20 minutes, and as you can see, it's still red. So I thought whilst we're waiting, I'll have a little think about what the sort of pros and cons of this machine are. So we'll start with first pro, taste. Now for me, draft beer always tastes better, and I think that's the selling point of the machine really, is that it's going to taste better than a can or a bottle. Obviously I'll have to be the judge of that once we get it working, however I'm assuming that is going to hold true. Next I've got looks, so there is different sort of styles you can get. One's sort of silver and green like the Heineken, and there's this black one which I thought was the sort of nicest looking. There's a grey one, a red one. I'm sure they'll bring other colours out too. So I think it looks quite good, it sort of fits into your kitchen. It's actually the same brand as the Nespresso machine we've got as well, so I think it looks quite good. I put party piece, you will see over here I put not good for parties, but we'll get into that. So I think it's, you know, something if someone comes around to see it and you give them a beer and say it's from this, it's pretty cool. And then ease, so once you've got everything in sort of sorted, it's pretty easy to just sort of pull yourself a pint and carry on. As you'll see, ease is also over here, so although it might be easier to pull your pint, it's probably putting the thing in, even though it's nice and quick. Is that more of a faff than just cracking open a bottle or a can? I guess that's up to yourselves to decide. So I've got price down as well in cons. So the machine itself, I think they were like £169 initially. I got this on a Black Friday deal, so it was only £69.99, which I thought was pretty good. And that included 2 of the Heinekens. I've ordered some other brands of beer as well, but they've just not been delivered yet. But the beers themselves, or the Torps, they, like I say, all hold 2 litres. They sort of vary in price from about £6 to £8 for the 2 litres. So if you're thinking you're getting 3 and a bit pints for, you know, £6 to £8, you're talking £2-ish a pint. Then it's definitely cheaper to buy your beer from the supermarket in a can or a bottle, especially some of the sort of bulk offers that you can get in Tesco or Costco or something. So it's definitely slightly more expensive, but obviously it's cheaper than a draft beer from the pub. Not good for parties, so I think obviously having seen this now 20 minutes in, it's still red, and that's with it being pre-cooled in the fridge. If you've got a load of people around drinking it, it's going to do 3 drinks, and then you're going to have to wait however long, you know, upwards of half an hour for the next person to have a drink. So it's not really good for, you know, more than 2 people are drinking from it. Limited beer choice, so you're obviously tied into buying whatever beers they sell. Now there are quite a few beers on there, some that I've heard of, some that I haven't, so I've ordered some of the sort of random ones that I haven't tried before. But there's a sort of decent-ish selection in terms of light beers, dark beers, an IPA and a couple of others. So it's limited, but it is okay for now, and you know, hopefully that will improve and there'll be more that get added onto the list. And then obviously we talked about ease before, so that was sort of my views on the pros and cons of it. We'll once we taste it, we'll see whether the taste, which is the main point, whether that outweighs the cons. We are green. That's taken 35 minutes, so that is quite a while, but we're there now, so let's pour the first drink. I've got my trusty Vincent Company glass, but nobody else has got one of them. It does say when you first put a torp in, your very first drink that you pour can be quite foamy to start off with, so it says maybe pour a couple of centimetres out and discard it. So let's see now. All foam. Let's pour it out. Again, quite foamy. Do you know what? Maybe a bigger glass is better, a wider glass. Let's go for a pint. That's disappointing. I'm not really sure what I'm doing differently there. Let's neck it and see. So after a couple of minutes of pouring, this is the best I could do. This one's not too bad. Obviously, it's giving quite a big head at the moment. Now, whether that is just me being rubbish, I'm not too sure. It just seems to spit a bit of foam out initially. But I'm sure with a bit of practice I'll be able to get that sorted. The main thing is the taste test, and considering I don't really like Heineken, it is pretty nice. So it's definitely much better than a can or a bottle. Now, as I said before, if you remove the torp before you've actually finished it, then you have to throw it away because it loses the pressure and loses the temperature. So I can't actually show you how to take this out just now because I'm not planning on having 2 litres of beer tonight. But essentially it works exactly the opposite way. So just turn anti-clockwise, open it. Once you lift this up, the spout can just basically lift out. You just pull it out and then the whole thing can be discarded. You can recycle it, obviously, depending on what your local policies are around. So, sort of final thoughts on it. It's quite a lot of money for something. Obviously, I got it on a good deal, and I'd hold out probably for those kind of deals that makes it a little bit more worth it. Otherwise, it is quite a lot of money. Your beer isn't necessarily cheap either. It is a bit of a sort of gimmick to sort of show people when they come round. However, it definitely is nicer tasting than if you were to just buy a can. You just need to really prepare what you're going to drink for the next day and make sure you've got enough pre-chilled. But would I recommend it? I think if you've got the money spare or you really enjoy your beer to be sort of as fresh as possible, then yeah. If you're happy just drinking out of bottles, then probably not. But I'm pretty happy with the purchase. I just need to practice on pouring things a bit better than that. So, having played around with it, I've sort of found how to do it a little better. So you basically need to push this down as quick as you can, pull the handle down as quick as you can to limit the amount of sort of foam that it creates. Hold the glass at about 45 degrees. So you get a little bit ahead at first, and then just let that fill up. And if you let that settle, you'll see it starts moving up anyway. That'll do for me.